Okay, now it's better. Ha. Apparently, my microphone setup got a driver update, so I hope you can hear me right now. So thank you for all the folks in chat that told me. Thank you, Elliot, Oleg, and Strachinia. I guess it's now is okay, right? Good, perfect. Hello, hello. Welcome to this rather different type of stream. Today I wanted to go over configuring my laptop. So I got a new laptop. It's a used laptop that I haven't used in years, or not years, but I haven't used it in, well, a year-ish, right? So and I've decided to completely like restructure it or completely reinstall it. And why not just show how I do stuff on how I configure my laptop, right? Because I had a few people ask me, oh, hey, I saw your Vim configuration. I would like to see how it looks. Yeah. Oleg Platonenko, will this live be recorded? Yeah, it's going to be recorded. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. So everything you see here will be on YouTube. So don't worry. Thank you for coming anyway. If you cannot make it, that's okay. Hello, Dennis. Hi, hi, hi. Cool. So I got this laptop. So why am I doing this? I've been using a different laptop for like my live streams and the things I do with my colleague Kobus. If you don't know what we're doing this thing called bean streaming every Monday and Tuesday on this channel and the official AWS channel as well. We do things like Tuesday mornings, European time. We build some tech and we talk some tech, right? Your first time watching Twitch, Mr. CCETS. Well, welcome. What can I say? And the laptop I've used last time has been problematic. So that laptop I've been using, let me actually show you. It's a Dell laptop that it's, how to say, it's 10 years old, I think. It's a nice Dell Ultrabook, 1080p, and all that stuff. Even has a touchscreen. But it has only 2.4G Wi-Fi. It starts screaming really loudly when I start to stream from it. So it's not the best thing in the world for that job. So I figured, like, I had a different laptop. I had a laptop sitting in the office, which I haven't used in a while. Let me set that laptop up because it's much better. And I'm trying to bring this laptop up so not to disconnect HDMI. So it's a Lenovo X1 Carbon. It's an amazing laptop. I love it. So why not configure this one and get it set up for my daily work, or not daily work, sorry, for my streaming, because my daily works requires PowerPoint, and Linux doesn't yet have PowerPoint, and I wish to use Linux. So today I have basically set this up in it's a Linux environment. It's actually running Manjaro Linux. I've installed Linux, but I guess we can go through setting up some things I do on my laptop. So things from command line utilities to AWS CLI, CDK, SAM. So maybe if you have never installed CDK or SAM or AWS CLI, this could be a great way for you to check things out. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm just gonna reiterate some things. Oh, wait, stream title. Oh, it's not Dark Ghost Rumbles through Terraform. It's something new. I need to change this. You know what? I'm gonna remove this because it's not important. You know what I'm gonna do. So, laptop configuration time. The only things I've done on this laptop so far is I've installed my browser. So I installed Brave as the browser. I've installed what did I install? I installed Fish as the shell. And what did I do? I installed Vim. Yeah, Vim. Or did I do NVim? Oh, give me one moment. I actually have somebody at my door. 1 second, please. Be back in a minute. And I'm back. So it's Amazon. I got a package. So that goes there. Okay, so what I do, I installed neovim. That's what I'm gonna be using, and I have also installed fish and actually installed all my fish. Now, for those of you who don't know, fish is just a shell interpreter, right? So fish is basically the thing alternative to bash and Z shell. Is fish better than the other ones? I don't know. I've been using Z shell, ZSH for a long time, and in the last, I think like 6 months, I switched over to fish. Now fish is different than Z shell. A lot of things don't work the same way, but it's very nice. Hello, Coeric6. So I installed fish, but one of the things that has a great OMF, right? Yes. So one of the things that's very cool when it comes to fish, and if you want to use fish to have additional things such as themes and all those things kind of be at hand, is OMyFish. OMyFish is basically just a set of plugins and utilities for fish, for the fish shell that you can use. Now I've installed this already, but the way you would install it is basically just copy paste this, right? Copy command this command, paste it here. It will install it all, switch to a brand new shell. And what I do right now is I do omf install Fisk. Fisk is just a theme that's available for fish. It's already installed, and it will basically switch you to this theme that I use here. So that's really cool. I guess we can get started by setting up Vim, because Vim is the most important thing on my... Oh no, actually, let's set up tmux. So tmux, what is tmux? Tmux is terminal multiplexer. So in essence, that is a utility that allows me to have basically multiple terminals in the same session, right? So if I would like to have a new terminal window, I can title Darko's local environment. Well, I can do that. Well, why not? So let me change the title. By the way, is the stream title proper? I don't need, like, I didn't even ever check how my stream titles look. Like, are they actually? Yeah, I have Darko configuration on laptop. That's fine. So let me just change the stream title. Darko's local. Perfect. Done, and show me. Yes. And then let me just transform it. Central, horizontal. Perfect. There we go. Now anybody who comes to the stream knows what we're doing. Well, maybe. So I've installed a theme here, Fisk, and what I'm gonna do right now is, what did I say? Yes, tmux. We're gonna set up tmux, or terminal multiplexer. So I use tmux to have both basically multiple windows and actually the ability to split windows in here. So for example, if I would like to have a new terminal window and basically do something like, I would have to open up a new tab here. Right, so I would have to click this button and then just, yeah, have a new tab. But we are engineers. We can do better than just having this. Oh, Kelly got, yes, I have a new laptop. Well, it's a used laptop. I've used it before. I just had it sitting in the office, and I actually went down to the office today and like, you know what? I'm just gonna grab that laptop, bring it home, and make use for it, because I already explained to the folks here that the old one doesn't really work on streams very good. So. This is going to be interesting. So, installing tmux. How to install tmux. Now, this really depends on your environment, your package manager, whatever you're using. I have Manjaro Linux installed here. So I use the package manager called Pacman or Yay, which does the same thing. So if I do Yay-S and just tmux, it's going to go ahead and install tmux for me, right? That's fine. Install tmux. If you run tmux like this, well, bam, it works, right? So now this is just the default tmux setup. It has its own set of key bindings, which you may know or may not know. Now I have my own tmux configuration already, and I'm just gonna basically use my configuration file and copy it and use it basically as set it up. I have an old configuration file that I use from my other laptop. So. And unfortunately, I don't have any of that available publicly yet, because I have a .files directory on GitHub. But to be honest, it's just a mess, right? So I have for a bunch of laptops here and workstations, and it is it's not open source. I haven't unprivated this repo because it's just horrible. But if anybody's interested in any specific files I do today, now my Vim configuration is open, and I'll share that. But for any other configurations file, let me know and I'll share them separately. So I need my tmux configuration, and I believe the latest tmux, I can just use this one. So I have this tmux configuration file, which is just, there's a whole bunch of things here. And I'll actually, for anybody who's interested in tmux, I'll just explain a few things that I do with it right now. Copy, and then let's go. The way to configure tmux, you need to place a configuration file, which is called .tmux.conf, inside of your home directory. So nvim tmux.conf, and I'm gonna just paste it in. Perfect. So this thing does a bunch of things, right? First of all, I changed some default key bindings. I set the terminal mode. I set up like what kind of key bindings also I want to use, like Vim keys, for example. I do also different things such as set some colors when it comes to my bars and panes and whatnot. So there's a whole lot of things here. Now, one thing I want to share, because one of the things I do on my tmux config is I hard code the name of the machine which I work from, because sometimes the hostname is okay, right? Like I want to say Darko at hostname, but sometimes like on my work laptop, I cannot change the hostname. So it's Darko at and a bunch of numbers. So what I do in my tmux to kind of show myself where I am right now, I hard code the name of the location. So I'm gonna look for MacBook here. Yeah, I have a MacBook, but this is an unused line. There we go, Darko at MacBook. I'm gonna change this Darko at X1. Why X1? I'm using Lenovo X1 laptop, so Lenovo X1 Carbon, yes. Perfect. Now if I run tmux, hopefully, well, you see that it works. So there is this lovely taskbar here. I have my pane. If I want to create a new one, I can just create a new one like this. If I want to set up like a split environment, I can do this. Control A and then, oops, Control A and this. Like I have multiple panes here as well to use. I can also split it up like that. So if you have never used tmux, but maybe have used something like screen, it's basically the same thing. So it gives you the ability to multiplex one of your sessions. Now, why would you use this in some other way than just this? It gives you the ability to basically, for example, if you're using SSH, you connect to a system and that system doesn't have screen or tmux installed. As soon as you close down your window or close down your connection, anything that's running there, unless you pushed it to the background, it stops, right? So if you launch a script, then you just log out or you get disconnected, that script stops. If you have tmux installed, I'll give you an example. So for example, let me LL that. Let me do, I don't know, htop like that, and whatever. This is my tmux doing something right now, right? So it's executing something, and I go here and I just go to my terminal editor and just close. Yeah, that's fine. If this was a normal session, everything I was doing right there would be gone. Everything would be stopped. Everything would be terminated. It just wouldn't work. Now with tmux, what happens here is that it actually, I just need to look at the screen. With tmux, if I open my terminal once again, like that, and full screen it and zoom in a bit like that, and I do tmux ls, it will show me all the sessions that exist. So if I do tmux attach session and then target 0, which is the session 0 here, well, bam, I'm back on tmux. So very cool, very useful. If you have not tried tmux already, or I know it's difficult to get into all the key combinations that it does here and the stuff, but trust me, in the long run, it's very good. Also, gin and tonic. So what is better than configuring your laptop and having a lovely GNT? Cool. So that's tmux. Tmux is one of the essential tools I need because I do a lot of things for my terminal. So and a lot those things I do is basically in a text editor. So speaking of a text editor, what is the best text editor out there? Does anybody know what is the best text editor? I know. It's of course Vim. So basically, I've Nano. Well, here's the thing, Mr. DeAndre. When I started doing Linux, I didn't know Vim. Like Vim for me was the most complicated thing, which I was struggling with. I couldn't get the key combinations. It was just a mess. And I had a friend who was working with me back then, and he was a much older person. So he's like the old guard of people who do Unix. And he told me, like, listen, you hate it now, but at one point you're gonna learn to live with it, and it's gonna be the best thing ever. And he was very much right. And Gilligod, Vim or NVim, I use NVim just because of some additional compatibilities, some new features. It's basically a Vim build for the modern world. But in general, anything I do here, I believe will work on Vim as well. So I don't do anything neovim specific. I've actually, the way I configured my Vim is pretty much influenced by one person. I'm gonna share his information. Stefan, hi Stefan. I'm running Manjaro Linux here. So not sure if you can see here. Actually, let's do something. Yay, so we can show people. Yay, as neofetch. So for those of you who do not know, neofetch is a show-off utility. It's just a utility run on your command line, like this, neofetch, and it shows you what you are currently running, right? It gives you a lovely example of which OS I'm running, what's my laptop, shell, desktop environment, resolution, well, CPU and memory. So yeah, that's what I'm running. So I've decided to upgrade from like also an i7 laptop, but like an i7 third generation. So this is a bit better and works much nicer, I must say. So Vim, how do we go about installing Vim? Well, simple, or neovim. Sudo your package manager of choice, s neovim, and that's it. I mean, I've installed it already, but that's it. Stanze23, thank you for the follow. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I have the follow animations. Yes. Please don't subscribe. Please don't throw money. That's something I don't follow for more videos, but don't subscribe. I don't take the money. Or that is, don't spend your money on me. There's better things you can do. Okay. I've installed neovim. Now, to configure neovim, there's a lot of things you can do. If I was just run nvim, right, nvim like this, it's just basic, right? It does its job. Like Vim by itself is amazing. Now you can augment it like crazy when it comes to plugins, and I do have a bunch of things when it comes to plugins that I do. So the best way to do that is through your configuration. So I have, and it's actually open sourced. You can access it if you go to you go to my repository, my GitHub page, and there's a repository called nvim. So I have a repository here called nvim, which is basically all my Vim configurations that I use. Now, one thing I really want to do, because I've made some changes to my Vim configuration on my laptop. So to kind of follow up from that, I'm just gonna make sure I put those configurations back to my repository. Just give me 1 second. So if I go to repos and then nvim and git status. How many branches do I have here? Did I change anything on this one? 7 days ago? Oh, this should be fine. Okay, no, it's the latest version. Okay, I can do it. Perfect. So I'm gonna just clone this repository. So if you're interested in this repo, github.com/darko-mesaros/nvim. So this is the repository I have for my Vim configuration. And actually, this Vim configuration is very much influenced by this gentleman called Chris something. I forgot his name. I follow him on YouTube, and his name is Chris something Vim, right? I know his name is Chris. No, okay, no. Chris neovim. He does. Yes, this is the person. Chris at Machine. Yeah. So this gentleman right here, he does amazing videos on setting up Vim, and basically This is where I got my my inspiration how to do my Vim setup. Basically, I've copied a lot of the ways he does things. So let me just see if I can open one of his videos and get his links. So yes, so he has a nice blog, Chris at machine.com. Basically, he does a lot of things here. So if you're interested in this, this is where you should check out more things. So, and I'm basically my entire repository is very similar to this. Now, how I go about this is I just take my repository like so, click on copy, and I have a directory here called repos. I'm just gonna clone this entire thing, right? So I'm gonna clone my repository into nvim. Now, the way neovim picks up its configuration is that it looks for a folder called nvim inside of the .config directory. So the .config directory actually sits within your home directory. You cannot see it here because it's hidden, but if I like show all like that, you will see that there is a .config directory. So within that .config directory, there should be a directory called nvim, like that. But there is no directory like that here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna link that directory to here. So I'm not gonna copy my repository because I like to keep my configurations in a single location within my repos directory. So the best way to do this is I can just do ln-s. I'm creating a link, a soft link to where is my s? ln-s to my config file. So if I do nvim like that and I do config like that, this should basically link the entire nvim repository to the config directory, right? So like that. Stefan, thank you very much for the follow. So, okay, now if I go back into config, I should be able to see there is a directory called nvim. First, okay, one thing. The terminal, the emulator here is GNOME terminal. Nothing special, does its job. But one of the things I find out when I'm using this theme is that you cannot see what you select because you just uses black and white for selecting. So let me just make that change because I like to see what kind of colors I select. So highlight color, the text, I'm gonna make the text orange-ish, like that, horrible orange. And then the highlight will be yellow, and that's the hour. I'm gonna make the text this a bit yellowish, like that. Okay, very scientific, but now you can see what I select. Perfect. So you see here that I have my neovim folder here. Excellent. So if I go to nvim like now, and all of these files are basically gonna be inside of my repository directory, not here. So they are just links. So if I run neovim right now, it's gonna act weird because a whole lot of things don't exist. They're not configured. It's just gonna freak out. So the best way to do this is actually just run neovim for the first time. It's gonna install all my plugins, all the things I need to do, and then we can get started. I'm gonna show you what plugins I have installed, what are they used for, etc., etc. So if I just nvim right now, you're gonna see a bunch of weird things. So it's gonna error, complain, oh, that doesn't work, more, blah, 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 that's fine, excellent. Sorry, no, oh, that's fine, cannot find, okay. It's complaining, none of the things can be found, press command to continue. Okay, that's fine. And now what it's gonna do is gonna install all of my plugins. And there's a bunch of plugins here I have waiting to be installed, and I'll explain what most of them do. Perfect. I think we are ready to go. If I exit neovim right now and do it once again, whoa, it works. Perfect. My neovim configuration works. I have a thing called start page on neovim, and basically shows you like a simple start page of your like some commonly used files. And I have a few of them configured here, but I don't use most of these. These are from my other Linux setup where I have i3 and Polybar and Fish and whatnot. So if I press the I key, it takes me to my main configuration file. So the way neovim works is that there is a single init.vim file within your config/nvim directory. So if I would go like that and go to, so I'm currently in config, config and vim, right? If I pwd, you can see I'm in this directory, and here there's a bunch of things, right? The main file here, that actually the file that gets automatically executed, is init.vim. And within init.vim, I can do all of my configuration there as well. That's perfectly fine. You can have all of the things you want inside of a single file. But again, inspired by Mr. Chris at Machine, I've modified it a bunch, right? So I've basically used a whole bunch of different files. I picked up a whole lot of configurations from him verbatim. So, and I'm going to talk about what of these files do. So here, as you can see here, the only thing that's happening here is I'm selecting, I'm sourcing other files. I'm basically saying, hey, pick up this configuration file, pick up this file for file types, pick up a key bindings file for mappings, right? Pick up this file for where I define all my plugins. These are plugin configuration files. So each of my plugins I use has its own configuration file. And last but not least, this is where I select my color scheme for Vim, right? Now I need something. So it's gonna fail. Oh, I'm missing a little application. So, okay. For Vim, I need a few things. I need an application called ripgrep. So ripgrep. Passwords. Ripgrep, perfect. Ripgrep is a lovely grep utility. It's just much faster than grep in general, so it works now. So when I open that, it's actually I opened it with spacebar and F. It opens up this lovely search window where I can just type, whatever, and it looks for files within my current directory. It uses ripgrep for that, so pretty cool. And if I open my plugins directory, here you can actually see all my plugins. I'm using vimplug for installing my plugins, for actually plugin management. And what basically happens here, this file installs all the plugins if they're not installed, right? So if a specific plugin from this list is not actually installed, the first time you start Vim, it's gonna install those plugins. And to add new plugins, I basically just just yank this thing here, right? Just copy this line and add an exact same line as well, right? With the name of that plugin, right? Or actually it's a repository /name of that plugin. So that's how it works. Simple as that. That's how I add my plugins, and that's it, right? That's it. Oh, actually, this is the automatically installed plugins on startup. So I have a few plugins here that are kind of interesting. FZF is this. So it's this fuzzy finder thing that uses ripgrep for a lot of things. So if I want to, open up configuration for FZF, I can just do this, right? So it's a really neat utility. Where is it? Okay, cool. Vim tmux navigator. This is from Chris Toomey. This is a really cool thing. So in Vim, you can actually split your console, right? So you can do split, split like that, is it? Or vsplit? Is it vsplit? Yes. So you can split your terminals like this, and I can basically move between these things with my command, or actually control, and Vim keys, right? So I can move between these two. Now, what this plugin actually does, it integrates this movement, right? This movement with tmux. So if I would open like a tmux pane here as well, so if I would do it like that, now it's a bit bad, but I can also use this to move between tmux and the file. So you can see here that I can basically move within Vim and within tmux as well. So it kind of enables just that. So pretty cool. Close this. These are some colorizers, basically giving you some additional colors for Vim, giving you more colors for a parentheses, which is very important to understand which parenthesis belongs where. This is the This is the theme, the color scheme called Medic Chalk. I really do enjoy this theme. It's very bright and vibrant, and that's something I like it. Lightline is this this status line. I like Lightline. I know a lot of people prefer Airline, which is one of the like most common airlines, most common status lines. With basically, it looks very similar to my tmux line here, but I prefer this Lightline because it's light. Vimsneak. I even forgot what is. Vimsneak is you press the S key, and not everybody likes this because it kind of replaces the S function. But if you use S and do AK, it takes you straight for that to that combination of letters. So it's S and then 2 letters to the next one, right? So it's very cool to move around quite fast. So if I want to go here and change the, for example, I don't know, the dev icons word, I can just do SDE, right? And that's it. And now if I just I don't even know what's the next one, but I can just change this one and do things, right? So it kind of helps me move faster through my text files. And I am so used to the way Vim does keys and the Vim does everything. I make sure that all my other text editors, such as VS Code as well, when I need to use it, I make sure that I use Vim key bindings on it. It's just a matter of getting used to it. Startify is that little start page you saw on Vim. Basically, tells me have a default files I can set up. So if I run Vim from anywhere, I can just run Vim, and then I can press the letter I or whatever letter. It will take me to a bookmarked file that I always edit. So pretty cool. COC, or COC, or whatever you would like to call it, or Conquest of Completion. This is basically my auto syntax slash not even code snippets. It's basically how they call it, IntelliSense tool. Basically gives me the ability to test if my code my code actually works. So if I do things in TypeScript and I do something bad or something doesn't work, it will actually tell me, hey, it's broken. And finally, Terraform is I don't even recall what Terraform is. It is for Terraform, but I'm not sure why did I install it. I think I don't think let's find what this is about. I really am interested to see what am I Vim Terraform. It's some plugin. Yeah, it's basic Vim / Terraform integration. Now, what does it actually do? Plugin. Oh, it actually runs Terraform and also sets up your files to be highlighted. Okay, just a simple thing. I have not used it in such a way that I will run Terraform from Vim, but yeah, it's the same one. Okay, cool. Yeah, those are all the plugins I use. A couple of the settings I want to show here as well. So if I go to settings, no, not that one. Settings, the other one. Yeah. I enable syntax highlighting. I use tab as a key binding to switch between multiple files open. So I'm pressing tab right now, that you can see that which different windows I'm using. Which different files I'm editing, or buffers as they're called. So yeah, I also have a few things. I use converting tabs to spaces. Yeah, bunch of different things here. Nothing too special, to be honest. Also, I use space as my leader key. Now, the leader key is like kind of a prefix key. So, for example, when I execute this, I press space and F, right? And the key configuration here is basically leader plus F. And is it here set? No, it's not here, right? But yeah, tab is basically shifting my buffers, right? So B next. But also if I do shift tab, it's B previous. So it goes back and forth. Cool. Control N. This is kind of something I got used to it. So initially, when you open up a file in Vim, you don't get the line numbers, right? You don't get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I just set up Control N basically to show them and hide them. I used to hide them initially because if I want to copy and paste the code with with Max built-in clipboard, I would basically select the file and select the code on my screen and just paste it. But if I have the numbers, it will also select the numbers, and I maybe don't want that. So that's cool. What is F5? What did I do F5? I'm not sure if F5 even works. Oh yeah, sorry, yes, F5. F5 is great because F5 shows me the blank spaces. So I actually see where I have a blank space and how many of them I have. And F6 is no paste. Paste and no paste. So paste is just a mode for Vim. Basically, if you're copying some text from the internet, from a web page, sometimes if you're in normal mode or not paste mode, you will copy different things and you will have a very bad paste, something like it will go diagonally with all the tabs, keep expanding and weird things. So by setting up the paste mode, it will just raw paste the text. So it's much better. So I have F6 mapped to that. So what else? So I also need to install some things because you can see that node is not executable. So COC is complaining I'm missing stuff. So actually I don't have anything installed right now. So I need to install Node.js. So to install Node.js, I can just do S like that and Node.js. I can install Node.js 3, right? Yeah, I guess I can use 14, right? Would that work? Yeah, why not? It requires Node to be present. It requires npm as well, so I will also install npm. I need to install npm, yes. So yay, s npm. So npm, please. npm is a Node package manager. It's a tool that I use a lot for my CDK work. So basically, if I do Node version, I think I will have 14, but if I do npm version, it's 6.14. Perfect. Okay, so I have that installed. So if I go to nvm, nvim is going to basically create my configuration file for COC because it just works right now. And now I can actually go ahead and install some plugins. Now, COC, or Conquest of Completion, so if I do vim COC, it actually has a bunch of different languages that supports. It doesn't do that out of the box. You need to actually install those things. So here's how it works, right? You install these extensions by running the COC install and then a COC JSON or TS server, whatever, right? So to install specific engines or servers or however you call it, I would run the COC install command and do COC JSON and COC TS server and then COC Python and COC YAML, I guess. COC markdown list, markdown length, like that. Yeah, I guess so. So basically, for JSON, for TypeScript, for Python, YAML, markdown length. I think I got them all correct. We will see. So it goes ahead and installs it all. Mr. Garyon, I got a Lenovo X1 Carbon. It's Lenovo's Ultrabook thingy. I think I'm a big fan of Lenovo laptops, and this is like the modern Lenovo, which I'm a big fan of. I believe I have three Lenovo laptops, and I have my favorite one, but it's very old. Let me show you. I use this one in one of my older streams. It's actually, let me open it. It is X201. It's i5 3rd generation, I believe. It's great. I love this keyboard. It's the best thing ever. It has the super small touchpad, which I'm not a fan of, and it's old, right? So it has a small resolution on the screen, but this one, I think I've done most of my work on this one, so I just love it. And I decided to get this other one, and yeah, let me configure it so I can do more streaming actually, I can do more streams with it. Cool. I've installed all of these things right now. So right now, I think we should be able to work. ThinkPads are the best laptops. Oh, one more thing I need to set up. If COC will not work unless you have specific plugins installed as well. So if you go to check health, right? Check health providers. This will actually check the health. Check health provider, like that. Yes. So it will run health checks against some providers. So for example, it's going to complain that, okay, the clipboard is fine, but it say, hey, Python has no provider So I need to basically install the neovim provider for Python. To do that, I will basically do this and do pip3 install neovim, right? I think that will work, right? Yes, it's neovim. Excellent. Okay. And also, if I go here, Ruby, I'm not going to be using Ruby for a while at least. So I need to install the neovim npm package. So basically doing npm, so sudo npm-g install neovim. Cool. So that should work. If I exit from here, only floating windows remaining, gn. Okay, nvim, and then check health provider. Now, Python 2 is still gonna complain, but Python 2 is no Python 2. I refuse to do any Python 2. Perfect. Ruby, I don't even have Ruby installed here, so will I be using Ruby? You know what? Why not? Yay, s Ruby and gem, or I think, is it like this? Ruby gems. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let me go back to this, exit, and check provider. Perfect. Okay, I need to neovim ruby host installed. So I need to install gem. I guess it's that gem, right? Gem install neovim ruby host. Could not find a valid and then repo. Oh, okay, sorry. Gem install neovim. That's sufficient. Cool. I'm not running Arch, I'm running Manjaro. So let me go back. Show as well, because people ask. In all honesty, Manjaro is very similar to Arch, right? So I used to run Arch on my desktop, and I actually run it on that old Lenovo. And I'm a fan of Arch. The thing is, sometimes I just don't have time for Arch. Arch requires you time and effort to configure properly, because it's just so many things you need to do for Arch to make it work really good. And like Manjaro was a very simple thing for me, because it has all the benefits of Arch, including its user repository and whatnot, and I can just install it and have it running in a matter of minutes. So, okay, exit, and then check health provider. Okay, Ruby's still complaining. I guess I am just missing my path, but that's fine. Ruby is not important as of now. What is important is that we have these things set up. Right, so if I do X and quit, yeah, quit. I'm not sure why is this only, cannot close window, only floating windows. If I do X, could you please, no, not edit. Okay, excellent. I'm ready to start using my neovim. So my neovim configuration is set up. It's fine. The only problem I have right now is if I type vim, vim doesn't exist, right? So does brew, like homebrew? There is a homebrew version for Linux as well. Homebrew. It's not the most common thing people use. Homebrew is great. I mean, especially if you have a Mac, it's just the best thing ever. But you can also install like Linux Brew, which is basically a homebrew version for Linux, and it's great. Sometimes it's, for example, I believe SAM, or serverless application model, the SAM CLI requires homebrew to have to exist for it to be able to work. So I guess we may need to install it if we find it fit. Okay, Vim. Now, if I type Vim doesn't exist, and I'm just used to just typing Vim instead of nvim, right? I don't want to type an extra character, so I need to change this. To change this, it's just a matter of adding an alias. So depending on which shell you're using, adding aliases is different, right? So I use fish. To do it in fish, you actually have to do the following. So you go to .config, and then you go to fish, and there's a bunch of files. What I like to do here is I create aliases.conf. So if I do to cd conf d and just create a file, and vim aliases.fish, right? And just create an alias vim equals nvim. And I think this should work, if I recall correctly. Perfect. So let me just try to open up a new fish setup. If I do vim, perfect, excellent. So I've created a simple alias here that I'm going to be using for my vim. Perfect. Let me exit that. Okay. What else? What do I use commonly? Now this is okay, yes, there's one tool I use common. So it's called Figlet. Now this is not an important tool. Well, it's not the productivity tool. Figlet is basically a tool that creates ASCII art. So if I do Figlet Darko, it's going to print Darko like that. But I like to combine Figlet with a lovely tool called lolcat. So if I yay.s lolcat, it's available also on basically all platforms you have. Yes, lolbanner. So that's the one. If you ever seen my videos, I do like these banners, big old banners showing like what I do, and it's done in lolbanner. Now what in essence I do is I do Figlet, Darko, and then pass it to lolcat, right? But this is not fun. Let me actually do more things and add some better fonts. And actually Figlet, if you search for Figlet fonts, there is a lovely directory of Figlet fonts. Yes, this is the one that I like to use, right? There's a bunch of fonts here. I like to use the 3D one. So I just download this entire thing. Now I need lolbanner. Yeah. Lolbanner is, have you seen lolbanner, Mr. Noknika? Let me download this. CD downloads, unzip, Figlet fonts, yes. CD Figlet font. Actually, let me just do this one. CD Ranger, Figlet fonts master. Let me select all of them, and I'm gonna go use that article. I actually don't even know what I've did. Let me see if is that the same one that I've used. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've do the same one. Yes, I also did the same one. Yeah. Cool. CH. Let me just copy my files. I like to put it in local. Share. There's no fonts. I'm gonna mk their fonts. Fonts. Mk their Figlet. Like that. Perfect. Excellent. Now, basically, I need to create a function. What I like to do is I like to use a function on what is it called? On fish to do this, right? So let me get to it. So let me go to cd config fish, and there's functions. Let me create a function here. So vim, let's call it lolbanner.fish. And if it doesn't have Ruby. I don't have Ruby. Well, I have just installed it right now, but I haven't used Ruby in a while. So the last time I used Ruby was I was doing something with Chef, yeah, and I had to do some Ruby magic with it. And I like the way Ruby looks, but I haven't used it in a while. So yeah. Okay. How does this little thing look like? I'm gonna use this exact article that DeAndre shared. It looks a bit different when it comes to fish. Let me actually just open it on my different laptop. And functions. Oh, it's actually not there. Where did I do my... Did I not do it here? Really? Ah, no. Okay, wait. I did it differently. Now, this might be just me sucking, not doing it correctly, but I like to do it here. Go to conf-d and do vim lolbanner.fish, and then function lolbanner banner like so, and then 2 echoes, and then the figlet command. So figlet-c-f, and then point it to a font, and my font is at home. Local share fonts figlet, and it's 3D FLF, yes. And then I argv, and then pass it to lolcat. Lolcat, yes. Echo once again, and then end. I think this will work. Let me open up a new fish terminal. Lolbanner, yes. Lolbanner Darko. Way! There we go. This is the most important thing I have. I like to show, like, if I do, a stream, what usually happens is I do lolbanner. WTF is AWS CDK, right? Oops, not lol. Lolbanner, right? What if it is AWS CDK? So it's a really nice way to kind of show people, bam, what this terminal is all about. So very important, or rather very important. Cool. So what did we do? We have tmux, we have vim, we have lolbanner, we have all of my vim plugins. We need to install AWS CLI. So that is one of the important things I need to have here. AWS CLI v2. Also install AWS CLI v2. Don't install v1 anymore, because I know people are used to doing just v1, but don't use v2. To install this, you actually just do this. Literally, just copy this. What I like to do is I like to have a temporary directory in my home directory, tmp, cd tmp, and then just that. It downloads the zip file, unzips it, and runs the command, and AWS -- version. Cool, perfect. Now I need to do something. I need to set this thing up. So give me a moment. While I log in to AWS and get myself some keys, because I need my permissions. Terraform CLI, I'll install that as well. Just give me a second while I install. Set up a user. Set up a user for my programmatic access. I'm setting up a user that I'm going to be using for AWS here. So just get my permissions, set, create user. That's fine. Now to configure AWS CLI, basically what happens is you do AWS configure, and it will prompt you for a secret ID and an access key. And I'm gonna do that in a different terminal, so I don't yeah, so I don't expose my stuff here, because it will show all the things. So give me a moment while I'll open up a new terminal somewhere away. like that. AWS configure. Access key, paste. I'm not pasting anything anywhere else. Perfect. Key, and then EU West. I like to define the default region to EU West 1 because most of the things I do is in Ireland. EU West 1, that's it. Perfect. Cool. That is all configured and should work. So if I would do, as you can see that it actually threw something there as well. So if I do AWS configure, it has the access key and the secret key and all those things. Perfect. So if I do AWS S3 LS, it should. Okay. Ooh. Does anybody know what this problem is? This happens to me more than I like to admit. Yeah, it's time zone or it's time in general. So the time is not set up correctly here. It's not 9 p.m. It's actually 7 p.m. So date and time, not time shift. Date and time. See, it Manjaro doesn't pick it up by default. Let me just automatic date and time, and yeah, it's fine. Perfect. So if I do date again, I should get the proper one. And now, wait, this happens to me especially when I dual boot my Windows desktop and Linux. Sometimes if I don't use the proper time, I use UTC on Linux and don't use UTC on Windows, it moves the time zones. So not the best of things. So this happens to me quite a bunch. Excellent. Now let's install some AWS tools. So we install AWS CLI. That's important. The next tool I need to install is I need to install CDK. CDK is something I use a lot. CDK, or Cloud Development Kit, has a lovely CLI tool that basically helps you do anything on CDK. So let's go sudo npm-g install AWS-CDK. So this will install AWS CDK, the node module, globally on my laptop, right? So it's going to install the AWS CDK node module everywhere. So if I do CDK --version, I should get the 158, which is the latest one. Wow, 158.7 was a few days ago. Yeah, really? Wow, amazing. So good. That's one thing. What else? Actually, let's try it out. So cd repos, if I git clone, let me clone one of my repos. And this is also publicly available repo. You can check it out yourselves. CodeShots. CodeShots is one of the repos I use for my short video series on YouTube where I do just some code tweaking. So CodeShots, I should have some CDK stuff here. Excellent. So CDK, ESG, this one. This is a CDK project that basically launches an EC2 instance in an actually launches an autoscaling group. Actually, let's take something easier. Let's go to Lambda. Oh no, one more CDK. This one. If I just run npm install and install all the things. Now it installs all the packages my CDK project needs, and this is an example how you would continue to work on a CDK project that was given to you by somebody else. Basically, I pulled my repository, installed all of my packages, and CDK, or actually npm run build. Come on, okay, and then just CDK deploy. Now I'm not sure if this will work. Maybe something is broken. I did code this a few versions back, so yeah, it works, and I'm deploying my stack. Hey, excellent, cool. CDK works. What else? We need Terraform, right? So to install Terraform, I believe I can do it. I can do it with my own package manager. So if I do yay-s Terraform, it should find me. Yes, so this is the latest version available within my current package manager. So 12.28, even though I think this 13 is already available. So I'm just gonna get this one because 13 has some changes that I haven't checked out yet, and I have a series on Twitch here and YouTube where I go about and learn Terraform. So I want to make sure I use this one. So Terraform -- version. Excellent. So I can use Terraform. Yeah, it's out of date. Okay, that's fine. I'll ignore that for now. Perfect. We have Terraform installed. Now I need SAM. AWS SAM is basically the serverless application model, or the CLI tool. Basically is a lovely utility that helps us install SAM, or it basically helps us create SAM templates or serverless applications for this. So what do I need? Oh, I need Docker. Oh yes, I need Docker so I can test things locally. All right, sudo yay-s docker, right? Is that it? Oh no. Yay-s docker. Cool. Okay, I need to modify my user as well. So I'm installing Docker. That's also important. That's also a very useful service I need to have. So sudo systemctl enable Docker. Then let's start Docker. Okay, let me add my user Darko to this one. Now one thing I need to do here, I need to log out, because you need to log out in order for this to work. So exit. I can close this. Yeah, I can do this and this, and I need to kill all tmux processes. That's fine. Otherwise, I will have a lingering session. So let me log out. There's going to be no signal for a moment. Give me a moment. Darko 1 2 3 4 5 is the password, right? What's the password you set up when you first set up your system, right? It has to be something password 1 2 3. Although this thing has a fingerprint reader, so I may use that. Cool. Let me move this here. F11. Perfect. tmux and Docker PS. Ooh, see, I don't have permissions. So if I would, I think I always have like a session lingering. The last time I tried this, I literally had to reboot my system. So let me switch to my big old face while I'll reboot my system. It will only take a moment. So tell me, chat, what are you up to this week? Well, this thing happens. Is everybody doing okay? Is the summer too hot? I know in Germany this week we had the worst heat wave, at least by German standards, like 31 degrees, 32 Celsius. It's not the best thing. I'm not sure if you can hear it. I have a fan blowing at me, and because in Germany nobody has air conditioning, so yeah, you're kind of forced to have fans, and you can see I'm a bit pasty with sweat. Well, while I did my soapbox here, it works. Fighting with code deploy, Mr. Gallagher. Why code deploy? And DeAndre is building EKS cluster and destroying them with Terraform. Oh, very cool. I'm not competent enough to talk about EKS in general, but I would really like to. Is it like a built-in feature inside of Terraform that you can just do EKS? It's, I guess. Perfect. Cool. Okay, we have things almost ready. So Docker Brave. Oh, gotta do a basic AWS serverless tutorial on Friday. Ah, very cool. Are you doing it, Mr. Noknika? Oh, very cool. Miss. Oh, I apologize. Sorry. Are you doing? Oh, very cool. All right. Feel free to share the link here in chat. So I think you can. So if anybody wants to check a serverless tutorial tomorrow by Miss Noknitsa, do check it out. Oh, I need to install Homebrew. Oh, I'm not a fan of this. There you go. Okay, installing Homebrew. I don't usually use Homebrew. See, it's a. You should always self-promote. Absolutely. Ugh, no, stop. See, Fish is different. It doesn't support these things, right? So basically, one of the things I would have to do. You got the lolbanner working. Excellent. Let me just switch to Bash so I can install this. Please migrate the following commands. Aha. Aha. Look at this. Look at this. I need to update documentation on AWS, so I think I have a pull request. If anybody wants to do a pull request for our documentation, this is something they need to do. Like that. Okay. Also, I'll show you something in a moment once this is all done. I've done a workshop on serverless as well on AWS. And if anybody's interested to check it out, I believe I have a GitHub page link somewhere. So, DeAndre, it's the documentation page. So if you go here, what's great about documentation, about AWS documentation, it's all on GitHub. So if you go to edit this page on GitHub, you can literally just edit it here, make a pull request. Depending on which team it goes to, it can go really fast. So that's something I suggest you do. I cannot paste right now, but I'll make sure to do it in a moment. So I've installed Homebrew. Did I install it? No, it's still installing. While that is happening, let me also share something here. I've had a lovely workshop with the Brisbane user group, AWS user group this week, and it was very, very fun to do. So let me just share a link to this. I'll copy like that, and then I can't paste like this. So if you're interested in a serverless CDK with serverless workshop thing, there you go. Shameless self-promotion. Okay, there's a bunch of things that you see. I'm not a fan of this. So we had a big discussion about SAM CLI and should you install it through Homebrew. I don't know why they chose Homebrew, but most people on Linux do not use Homebrew. Homebrew is not like a package that exists everywhere, right? And I think that there's better ways to do it. So, but yeah, apparently you have to install Homebrew for this to work. So if I brew, see, I don't even have Homebrew installed here. Ugh. So let's just do this. Will this work? Even on... Okay. Let me open up this and brew. It doesn't work. Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan of Homebrew, so... Ugh. Oh, all right, let me see. How can I add this eval command? Did you guys work without Homebrew? Did you install it manually? I know I did install it once manually. If you go to the GitHub page of AWS SAM CLI, so if you look SAM CLI GitHub, I believe you can do it from there as well. But I'm not a fan of Homebrew. So let's see if I can do it like this. I don't really want to do Homebrew. So install SAM CLI. But there must be a way to do it better, right? So this is, can I do pip AWS SAM CLI? You can install Homebrew with Homebrew? Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Brew. Like, especially, like, why such a complicated package manager when something already exists? So, let me see. How do you do eval on fish? Eval fish. Fish, right? So, okay, maybe I can do vim config fish, config fish, and then call it brew.fish, and then like that. Okay. This won't work. Nope. I think I need to do this. Eval that, and then what? Okay, brew. Okay, it works. Okay, let's install this one. Why do you make me use Homebrew? Homebrews are like for Mac, right? So I mean, that's what I use on my MacBook because it's the most useful thing. But there's so many different package managers in Linux, and I believe there's an issue on GitHub open about this, and there's a lot of discussion on it. So we'll see what happens. See, why so many dependencies? Like, look at this. Look at all the things that it installs. Python 3.7. God. We just need a nice binary file. Like, you download a binary file that's configured. Exactly. Yeah, I can create an onboarding script to do this as well. Yeah, that's true. That's true. To do all of the stuff. But if I had that, this would not be a fun stream, right? Imagine if I would have a script that installs everything I do right now, and well, who would watch me then? Me run a stream once. That's fine. SAM version. No, where's she on? Let's see. On. It works. Perfect. What else? What else do we need? Oh yes. Pip 3 install saws. Saws. I think that's the correct tool, right? Saws. Yes. Exactly. We had spent the stream debugging dependencies. Exactly. Saws is a lovely tool. It's basically super powered AWS CLI. So it does a lot of things. So if I do like AWS S3 LS, it does a whole lot of bunch of things here, right? So it's a really cool tool. So I use it sometimes. It's not my favorite thing, but I like to have it. Also, I need one more thing. SSM Session Manager plugin. So there's a SSM Session Manager allows you to connect your EC2 instances through SSH. It's not SSH. It's basically through the Systems Manager agent. And to do that from the command line, you need to install a plugin. RPM. Really? Ubuntu? There's no, okay, Debian package. I don't want a Debian package. I want, okay, wait. How does it call? How is it called? Session Manager. Maybe somebody created it. Session Manager. Oh, Mate, new Session Manager, SSM. Doesn't exist. Oh no. Is there a GitHub page for this? Can I install a Debian package on Arch, or sorry, on Manjaro. Yeah, Saws is a bit old. I didn't mean to install Saws. AWS Shell. This one. This one is better. Saws is a bit old, so let's just do pip3 install AWS Shell. So it's better, right? Saws, it's like the old version of AWS Shell. I used to use that one. When I first used AWS CLI, Saws was a great tool because a lot of things existed already. So S3LS, well, there you go. So pretty cool. 1 second. Manjaro install deb package. I think there's a way to do this as well. Okay, so exit yay sdp key g. I'm gonna use this one, so I guess I can do it through here. Now, maybe this works. I don't really know. This is a bit hacky. Okay, cd tmp wget. Sudo dpkey g-i and then session manager built install. Ugh, see? libc. Yeah. This is not super important, but I would like to solve this. I guess maybe this. Oh, and also next week I will be continuing my Terraform streams. I didn't do any of them this week, so next week it's gonna be Terraform. So if you're into that, do check it out. So let's try again. It's still missing it. Okay, doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna fix this some way. I'm gonna try to find a way. How can I install this somewhere else? But there must be a GitHub page. It must exist somewhere. It's go back. Manager plugin. Ooh, look at this. There's a homebrew formula. Oh, brew saved the day. Okay. Maybe this works. Come on. Doesn't exist. Which tap is that? No formula, find taps. Session manager plugin, and this must be an old version of this one. Okay, brew tap, yeah, but I already ran brew tap AWS. Oh yeah, there you go. So happy I could help, Mr. Galigod. It's a great tool, right? AWS Shell. It's if you don't have any experience with AWS CLI or just can't remember the commands, Shell would be great. It's great. Maybe it's not that one. Ah, okay. But this is a bit old, right? Okay, let's try this. You know what? What's the worst thing that can happen by copying pasting some random code from the internet, right? Installing just some things. Luckily, this is not my work computer, so let's try it again. Ooh, excellent. Excellent. I hope this will work. And actually, we can try it out with AWS Shell. So, exactly. I couldn't find Mr. Gayron. If I tried to look it for, I tried to search for it in AUR. So yay.s session or just AWS, right? If you just do AWS, there's a bunch of okay clause. No, AWS session. Oh, I didn't look close enough. Okay, by the way, my package manager has it, so that's fine. Thank you, Mr. Gayron. Perfect. Now I can remove the other thing. So this is the benefit of using an Arch-based system. There's a thing called AUR, or Arch User Repository, where people create a lot of packages, and basically, most likely your package is available there, but I just didn't search it correctly. So thank you very much, Mr. Gayron. Or Miss Gayron. I apologize for calling everybody Mr. That's kind of like somehow how I get to it. Could this exist? Let me just brew remove or uninstall. Is it install or uninstall? Remove. No kegger cost, cask install, uninstall. Is it not installed? What? Ah. This is not it. Oh, it's still installing. Okay, give it a moment. Why? It's installing so long. Come on, finish it. Wow, is it really doing that much? Is it installing? Yeah, it's installing. Also, a fun tool for all of you command line fans, it's GoTop. GoTop is a Golang version of HTOP. Basically, looks lovely like this. It's a lovely command line utility of your current system status. And you can see that Python is killing me because it's currently installing, I think, all the things. Yeah. So, okay, I need to wait for that to finish, and maybe this should be fine. Okay, so just try to wrap my head around what did we do today. So again, I apologize for this being a very unorganized stream. This is just me trying to set up my laptop, and why not share this with you? Yeah, I'll save this video, Ms. Nochnitsa, or not Nochnitsa. I am gonna keep it on my YouTube channel, which is basically the same name as this one. So I keep all of my streams there, so check it out. So what did I do today? Again, just had a blank laptop. Basically, there's nothing installed here besides the terminal and a browser. And I've went through installing tmux, the terminal multiplexer, or basically one of my main utilities. And tmux is, well, all you see here, the way I can switch between different windows, and I can split windows like this and all the stuff. I've set up Vim or neovim with all the plugins I use and all the settings. And my neovim configuration is actually available on my GitHub repository. And let me actually share this with everybody here, because why not? My neovim things, while this is happening, like so, paste and paste. So if you're interested in my neovim configuration, just up there. And cool, this is finished. Let me just brew uninstall this. So after that, I've configured my Vim to basically use all the packages I want, everything else that is basically required for me to work, things such as AWS CDK, a Node, once again, Node. I've installed, of course, Python and all the things. I've installed CDK, SAM CLI, installed Terraform, installing Session Manager plugin so I can do some Session Manager, installed AWS Shell. I guess that's it. Garen, have you ever used a tiling VM? I love BSPWM. Oh, I'm a huge tiling window manager fan. So on my main PC, desktop here, I use Arch with i3 window manager. So, and for the last, I think, 7 years, I've been using a tiling window manager, and I have my own configuration. Again, it's all in those dot files, which I haven't shared, but I'm a big fan of those. The problem with using a tiling window manager, especially on a laptop, is the effort you need to put into to make it work with multiple displays for streaming, etc. So for streaming, where I just want to show a terminal, this is sufficient. But I'm a big fan of this one. Why don't you work? I think we broke it with brew. Okay. Does this work? Session. Okay, I'll figure this out at one point, because we broke this with brew by installing brew, and there's some conflicted files now, and it's just a mess. That doesn't matter. So we installed those things. Let me just think, is there anything else I need? Now again, if you like, you don't have to use Vim, right? If you would like to use something like a VS Code, right? So I can do VS Code like this. I can install VS Code, and sometimes I do use VS Code or Visual Studio Code, because it's an amazing text editor, right? So if I wasn't such a Vim fanboy, VS Code is basically the next best thing. So when I was younger, or like 7 years ago, I thought Sublime Text was the best thing, right? So, but back then it was. But now with tools such as VS Code, or Code in this case, the open source version, it's just so good. It does the things perfectly. But I'm a terminal junkie. I like my terminals. I like doing everything from a terminal as well. And yeah, you may ask, hey, why do you have to have an expensive laptop with you then? Well, yeah, I don't. I just need a terminal. But for streaming, you do. Cool. Excellent. I think I will be slowly wrapping up this entire stream. I guess unless you guys have any other questions or anything else that you would like me to talk about regarding my setup here, or oh, we installed the most important thing. lolbanner. The way to put some colors inside of your stream. So very important to have this. Excellent. Cool. If there is nothing else, I will be switching to this. I really hope you enjoy the stream as much as I have enjoyed doing it. As always, just shameless self-promotion. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. European time. So I know that a bunch of you are not from Europe or on the US time, but tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., my friend and colleague Kobus and I will be doing our second stream on the topic of AWS CDK. So we're building a fully fledged, well-architected container-based workload with AWS CDK. And it's going to be the third episode of that, so make sure to check it out. It's on the official AWS channel, so twitch.tv/AWS, or on my Twitch channel as well. And tomorrow we continue on that. But for those of you who cannot make it, it's going to be also recorded and put on a separate YouTube channel, so I'll make sure to share all of that as well. Cool. Once again, I think I'm going to go have some dinner right now. It's 8 p.m. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you all have a great Friday tomorrow, and after that, a great weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.